Shade 45. We are back. I'm in Chicago, and in New York City, we have Talib Kweli and a couple of his artists. Hey, Talib, what up, man?
What up, Jude? How you feeling, man?
Shit, I'm awesome. Who you bring with you today there, sir?
I'm here with Nico Is. You met Nico Is last South by Southwest from Brazil and Orlando, Javoti artist. And I got K Valentine, who's from Chicago, where you at now, you know?
Nice. Where in Chicago you from, K?
South Side.
Okay.
South Shore.
I was lost on the west side today, and
Yeah,
was
man.
all over that bitch.
You
Yes.
can get lost in Chicago very easily.
I love the city. Man, but yeah, I got off on the wrong stop and was walking around. I was like, I don't think I'm in the right neighborhood.
I was in Chicago 2 weeks ago. I had a show at the Shrine. Shout out to everybody who came out. You know what I'm saying? We filmed some videos out there. Chicago is my city, man. And, you know, shout out to Chicago, because Chicago's someplace that people always use as an excuse when they apathetic about what's going on with violence in this country. They be like, well, what about Chicago, man? And it's like, that's the weakest shit you could ever say, man, because people act like people in Chicago don't stand up for their neighborhoods. It's some bullshit.
Yeah, I don't. That whole, like, what about another area that's doing pretty bad is not a good reason to not look out for, to not do change.
Right.
But on the flip side, like, yo, man, I think it would be, when we're talking about police violence, like, if we just speak on, like, yo, police shouldn't be killing anybody, it would be easier to get everybody behind you. When you're talking to a country that's 70% white, that's how I would pose my argument.
Yeah, but the problem with that is police aren't killing everybody. That's just the whole problem. Like, it would be cool if we could say that the police are killing everybody, but they just not killing anybody but black people at disproportionate rates, and that's really why it's important to say what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but like, I don't know. I don't have the statistics, Talib.
Oh, I know them. They kill young black men 21 times more than anybody, and that's ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah, black children die of asthma 500 times more than anybody. Man, it ain't just because we more prone to asthma, because we don't have health care. We live in poor neighborhoods. Those numbers are real. And it's like, I agree with you. It would be better if we could say that, but it's just not true. It's just not true that anybody's being killed at the rates we be killed.
No, I'm not, and I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But what I'm saying is, if you're really trying to, if you're trying to stop having that argument and just stop having police kill people, then you have them stop killing people, and then in black people will be part of that as well. That's all I'm saying. Right.
But the only problem with that is that obviously the reason why the Black Lives Matter thing is because it needs to be stated. It's not that obvious. It's not that obvious. It just isn't.
Here's the problem. The whole lives matter is you're operating under a fallacy. Like, lives don't matter. What matters is votes. What matters is dollars. That's what matters. People don't give a fuck about lives, man.
Well, I agree with you, and that's why we have to state it. But no, I wouldn't say that votes in these situations don't matter, because we can vote for a black president, and it don't stop Tamir Rice, 12 years old, from being murdered by police in 2 seconds. Mike Brown was going to college. You could be rich driving a Mercedes and black. It don't stop you from having these same issues. Those to say that somehow, you're right, like, people's lives don't matter, and you're also right that we have more to gain by looking at this in solidarity together. You know what I'm saying? But the solidarity means that white people and other people who are not dealing with this situation need to be in solidarity with black people who saying Black Lives Matter. If you're saying cancer is a problem, you don't show up at a cancer rally and say, well, you know, there's heart disease too. Technically, heart disease kills more people. No, you just say fuck cancer. That's the only thing to say. You stand in solidarity.
So you say lives matter.
Well, you know what? You don't say that, because to say that act is pretending that all lives are treated equally in this country, and the disparities are too broad. All lives don't matter the same equally in this country. They don't. And
but I guess what you're I understand. But do you want change, or do you want recognition?
I want justice. I don't want justice. I don't want to have to be quiet and lie and pretend things are peachy keen when they're not. For justice only comes from truth.
The other problem is this: is like, cats aren't like, if you want justice, you also have to take responsibility.
I totally agree.
And way too many times you're seeing black people, and like, look at World Star. They perpetuate a negative stereotype.
Okay, look
all
at Fox.
The fucking time.
Look at Fox News. Anytime
you're responsible for, like, but like,
I'm responsible.
Let's worry about what we can.
I am.
Let's worry. Don't. Let's stay on World Star. Let's not get away from that. Let's look at the negative stereotypes that are being perpetuated by black people against black people. And then if you have somebody that's never had any experience with black people and show them that, and then why would you be surprised that they're afraid?
Because what you're talking about is a symptom of a root cause problem. To say World Star is perpetuating violence is missing the issue. It ain't World Star that's perpetuating violence. It's white supremacy, slavery, Jim Crow, and prison industrial complex that leads people in poverty to think that violence is the answer. That leads people in poverty to think that materialism and violence is the answer. These things don't start in our community. Our community is acting
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing.
So when
with
someone
you,
says, I don't, you and me, you my people. So this is a great debate. I'm glad we having it. But the reason why I say Fox News is because Fox News Corp has far more political entertainment influence in the world. More people watch Fox News than World Star by leaps and bounds.
You're right.
And Fox News Fox News is speaking with the power of the establishment. World Star is not.
You're waiting for the establishment to save you, and they're not.
Oh, I'm not.
To.
You speaking to the wrong rapper, Jude, and you know that. I'm not waiting for shit. I'm out here in these streets.
They're not going to save shit. That's all I'm saying.
So fuck them cats. Fuck them cats.
And I think that's where you and I agree. It's
right.
Like, fuck these the system is not going to save you.
Trust me, I'm in these streets, bro. I'm in these streets, and these rappers ain't there. I know which rappers are there. There's J. Cole there. There's certain Killer Mike. There's certain dude Macklemore. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain dudes who really be in the streets.
Nobody is going to save anybody, dog. Cats got to save themselves.
I agree.
And that's the bottom line.
And when we say Black Lives Matter, that's us saving ourselves without apology. Without apology, kowtowing to someone's feelings might hurt because they're not included in Black Lives Matter.
Speak with your votes. Speak with your money.
I agree with that.
See who's being elected as a judge. See who's being elected as a deputy.
Especially
all these T-shirts don't make a fucking difference. It matters with your money and your votes.
Well, no, the T-shirts make a difference and the votes make a difference, and the votes definitely make a difference.
Making money off of a fucking.
The votes make a difference in local elections. Presidential elections, not so much, but the votes in local elections, they make a difference. They do. If you don't know who your city council is, you don't know who your assembly person is, you're not going to school board elections, you're not participating, then you shouldn't be having so much say in your community. I agree with that.
And I think that's a big problem right now. Yo, Talib, it's always good to have you, man. It's always good to have you.
It's lively.
Chopping it up, talking about all that stuff. So are you doing anything for the Blacks Lives Matter thing?
I mean, with me, I'm an entertainer. However, I've put myself in a position to have a platform because I speak about these things in my music. I speak about it on social networks. I started the Action Support Committee, around the Ferguson protesters back in the days. We raised $112,000. We've given out about, 50,000 of it. We have more money coming up. We're using the money to support programs in Ferguson for the summer. There's the Ferguson summer thing going on from August 2nd to August 9th. I'm doing a free concert on August 9th at Foo Bar in St. Louis with Immortal Technique, Tom Morello, Boots Riley from the Cool, Jasiri X, Dead Prez, Outer National, a couple other cats.
Well, that's awesome. Let's talk about what's Nico and them doing?
Nico, what's up?
What's up, man? We eating mangoes out here living.
Nico's eating mangoes, and we got. So we actually brought you guys on not to do a debate over Black Lives Matter.
I do that on Twitter all too much, man. Talk about
do you? Is it? Look, man, I'm right there with you. It kills me to see this shit going on, and it's really frustrating, especially feeling like it's just frustrating to see. I heard last March, like more people were killed by cops than all of England, since the beginning of the cops in England.
Police brutality is definitely an issue. It's a fascist issue. It's something that affects all people. Kay, you from Chicago?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, let's be real. I've got the shit kicked out of me by the cops, locked up, and the irony was it was black and Mexican cops that beat the brakes off of me.
Well, that's because you be trying to be black, Jew. You can't be out here.
Apparently, clearly, yeah. It's just like, don't be broke in the wrong part of town. They'll beat the brakes off of you. And I guess that's the thing. So it's for somebody that has actually experienced that shit on the first hand. This was 20 years ago. I was 17. Experienced that shit firsthand of just getting the shit kicked out of you by the cops. I'm like, yo, this happens to a little bit of everybody. Maybe I get to. I'm an exception to that rule, but I got to see it firsthand.
Yeah, I mean, the academic way to say it is that what happened to you, as tragic as it may be, is incidental. But what happens to black people is systemic. The system is designed for us to happen to that. And it does happen to everybody. You know, cops could be fascists and abuse anybody. But the fact is the numbers suggest that it happens to us on purpose all the time.
I don't know if it happens. That's a big jump, man. That's a big jump.
Hey, man, I'll give you, when next time I see you, I'm going to bring you the literature and the books.
The problem is if you're always the victim, then it's happening to you.
Well, see, you can't look at those.
That takes the choice away. That takes your power away from you, man.
Well, see, it's possible to acknowledge oppression and not let it stop you. I'm someone who, I didn't grow up rich, and I grew up in the inner city, and I've dealt with oppressions, and I've had cops beat me up and all that. Has it stopped me from doing anything? No. And so I use myself as an example to, just because it hasn't stopped me doesn't mean it doesn't stop other people, though. Just because I'm not in the hood no more don't mean the hood ain't suffering no more. And so that's why I have to use the fact that I got this platform, and I was able to figure out a way for it to not happen to me anymore, to help people to realize, yes, it happens. Yes, you are not bugging to think that it's happening to you because you're your color. And yes, there's things you could do about it, and there's ways you could carry yourself, knowing the law, ways you could, work, and there's things you could do to avoid that and prevent it from happening to you.
Talib, it's always good having you on here.
Yeah, man. So it's good to speak to you, man. Let's talk about the music a little bit, though.
Yeah, let's talk about.
We gave the people enough knowledge. They're not worthy.
We basically ran out of time talking about police brutality and shit like that.
Hey, it's important, man. We live in those times. It's important.
Let's play what song you want to play from these guys?
Let's play Chirac by K Valentine.
All right, here it is. Talib Kweli here.
This is the All Out Show on Shade 45.
Talib Quickie right there. Shade 45. Talib Kweli.
Yeah, man.
Let's take a couple phone calls. 888-742-3345. Go ahead.
We got Scott in Mass.
Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, hey, what up, Talib Kweli? I just want to know, you talk about all this stuff in the society nowadays. I just want to know what you're going to do to provide the youth with the music that you put out and make the youth understand what is going on with society today in the world. Make it better. Tell them what's going on. Tell them that, it's not even with, like, presidents or people in the government and stuff like that. Just let them know what real shit is. How hip-hop.
Sounds like you doing it for him.
Yeah, man, he got it covered. You know what I'm saying? But yes, good question, brother. Thank you for that question. It's so much more than the music. The music, tonight, right now, matter of fact, right now, I'm doing this right now on your show, Jude. I got an album that I put together called Lost Lyrics and Beautiful B-Sides, which is a collection of songs of mine that have never been publicly released. They might have been on mixtapes. You might be able to download them online, but they've never been released for sale. You could go to my website, QualiClub.com, and get it along with Black Star Vinyl and Gravitas Vinyl, Prisoner Conscious Vinyl. I sell books, sell artwork. We sell Nico's album. But right now, members of Quali Club, if you've never been to QualiClub.com, you could go there and get, exclusive. I got joints with Killer Mike, joints with Common, you know what I'm saying? Like new joints. But beyond that, I got a new mixtape coming out in 2 or 3 weeks called Fuck the Money. It'll be free, and I'll be talking about some of these things. But, other than that, man, like, I'm in these streets, I'm in these communities, I'm linking up with activists who are doing things. We're doing the free concert in Ferguson on August 9th. And that's just one of the many things that I'm doing with Action Support Committee, doing with my music, to get the word out there and to do what the brother was so eloquently trying to tell me to do.
Bam.
Awesome.
Who else we got?
We got John in Mississippi.
Go ahead, John.
Hey, what's up? About Talib's statistics and comments about cops targeting blacks and not whites, saying that cops are only killing blacks. That's not true. The FBI actually did a study on it, and 49% of the people shot by cops are white, only 30% black.
Right. Well, my man John from Mississippi, those studies that people use to deflect against this thing do not take into account that whites are still the majority of the population. So
70% of the country is white, so
right.
it's a smaller percentage of whites actually being shot.
Right. And I know, again, if you listen to the program, I never said whites don't get shot. I said it's incidental. It's not done because of systemic racism. And
you see what? But Talib, there's so much race and shit going on in this country that I think
yes, slavery will do that. That's right.
It will.
This country's built
Slavery will
on
do that.
it's built on the institution of racism, and it's built so the children of slave masters will continue to profit, while the children of slaves will continue to be treated like second-class citizens.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but like, do you want to win, or do you want that point to be proven? And sometimes when you throw the race in there,
I didn't throw it in there, bro. I didn't throw it in there, bro. Dylan Roof threw it in there, bro. The cops who killed Mike Brown threw it in there, bro.
When a person throws it in there,
you can't blame the oppressed for their own oppression, and you can't say that.
No one's blaming them, but I'm just saying tactically how to win a fucking argument.
That's all I'm talking is tactics and strategy. That's all I'm talking.
It hasn't been working.
I just totally disagree. You know how I know? Because you and me been talking about it other than music. That's how I know. When I came on your show last year, we ain't talking about shit about racism. Now that's all we talking about. You know why? Because people like me and young activists have thrust that conversation into the forefront. I believe it is working. The Confederate flag got taken down from South Carolina.
Yeah,
yesterday.
But that was the same week that
it's working, bro. Like I could point at other examples.
The Confederate flag got pulled down the same week that they signed some fucked up trade agreement.
You talk about the Trans-Pacific Agreement. Yeah, well, the New World Order is not going to stop for nobody, and the New World Order is not going to stop.
That might have been a red herring. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, man, to say that the Confederate flag that was put up in 1963 to protest against the civil rights movement, to say that us being young activists like Bree Newsom, who took it down 2 weeks ago, and
did it make it easier for you to get a fucking home loan? Did it?
Look, flags.
You know what I mean? Like, that's an empty gesture.
Well, I wouldn't say it's empty, but I agree with you. I agree with you that we have to be careful to think that means racism is over. I agree with you, but it's not an empty gesture. Symbols are important. If they weren't important, they wouldn't be waving Confederate flags with Obama when he shows up in Tennessee, and they wouldn't be. Dylan Roof wouldn't have killed people, 9 people at the church, and then had the Confederate flag in his background
I'd rather
picture.
be able to get a home loan.
Me too. So that's the next battle.
I'd rather be able to get a job.
That's the next battle.
That's all I'm saying. Just be careful with these empty. That's
the next battle. It means a lot. In Germany, they don't fly the Nazi flag. You know why? Because it's not an empty symbol. It represents history.
This wasn't an issue until 2 weeks ago.
No, it wasn't an issue for people who didn't give a fuck. No, it wasn't an issue for people who didn't give a fuck. My community has always been an issue. My father didn't let me watch Dukes of Hazzard when I was a little kid because he said, fuck that terrorist flag. It's always been an issue. Just because it's an issue now in the mainstream media doesn't mean my community has not. It's always been an issue, bro. Every single day it's been an issue.
Not for everybody. For your family, perhaps.
No, I'm talking about my community. I'm letting you know, in the black community, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, we didn't fuck with the Confederate flag. Period, point blank. It's always been an issue. For real. All right. I'm letting you know.
Fine. Look, I haven't been in your community, so I don't know. All I'm saying is, all of a sudden, 2 weeks ago, when they needed to pass some other shit without people paying attention, that became a big issue. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You know, I think the Trans-Pacific thing is something that people need to pay more attention to, but I don't think that to say that dealing with the Confederate flag was a deflection from that. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know when some real rights happen. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you on
real fucking shit.
And you know what? You and me agree on that. Is that there's so much more to go. We can't stop at the Confederate flag. That's just one thing. I saw Glory. You know the movie Glory when they ran up and they took the hill. Yeah, it was heroic looking when Denzel ran up, and he also got shot 9 times and they lost that battle.
Nice light conversation with Talib Kweli.
Shout out to Nico Is. Thanks, Joey and Al.
Let's end with a Nico song. Talib, honestly, it's really great having you on here and just fucking chopping it up with you, man.
So we gonna end with a Nico song. You know what I'm saying? Like we dropping this video in like 2 days for this song. It's called Private Room.
Colors.
This is the All Out Show on Shade 45.